Hello, blessings to you wherever you're watching me from. Thank you for tuning into my channel. If it's your first time here, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate your continuous support. Please like my video, subscribe, so when I upload a new content, you will get notification. Also share my video with everybody you know. There's love in sharing. So today I'm going to be making Ogbono soup with okra and vegetable. So I'm going to be using some goat meat, cow skin, stockfish, Okboroko, that's stockfish, some smoked dry fish. I have some grilled mackerel, crayfish, Scotch bonnet pepper, salt and seasoning cubes, the Ogbono, which is the star of the show, some palm oil. So in this pot, I already started the soup. What you're seeing here is my goat meat broth. That's been boiling for a little bit. I added some crayfish to it off camera, and it's been boiling. And to that, I'm going to add my blended Scotch bonnet pepper. So I'm going to add that to the goat meat broth, and I'm going to let that come to a boil also. So I'm going to let this boil maybe for about 2 minutes. Let that pepper pretty much marinate into the goat broth. So my soup mix has cooked for about 2 minutes. I'm going to add my dry fish, smoked dry fish in there. Followed by my stockfish, Okboroko. So I added that. Let that cook and flavor the soup for a couple of minutes. I'm not adding any oil to the soup right now because I have used oil to dissolve my Ogbono. So to dissolve your Ogbono, because mine came already grinded, so what I did was I heat up some oil in the microwave. I pour the oil in the microwave safe bowl, put it in the microwave. I heat mine up for 2 minutes because I have a lot of Ogbono. So remember to use a napkin to carry the oil out of the microwave because the bowl is going to be hot. So once you get that out, add the quantity of Ogbono that you are using. Stir with a spoon, wooden spoon, metal spoon, it don't matter. Like, stir it really well. Make sure to use the back of your spoon to dissolve any lump that might still be in the Ogbono. If not, you're going to have a lumpy Ogbono soup. So I'll show you what mine looks like when I'm about to put in the soup. And if you don't have a microwave, you can also do the stove method. You put the pan on the stove, pour the oil, and let the oil heat up. You don't want to overheat your oil. We're not trying to bleach the oil. We just want it hot enough to dissolve the Ogbono, the lumps in the Ogbono. That's another method of doing it. So I've added the fish and the stockfish, and that's been cooking for a couple of minutes. I'm going to go ahead and add my Ogbono. Again, like I said, the star of the show. That's the Ogbono. So you want to add that while the soup is boiling. That's important. You don't want to add the Ogbono to the soup when the soup is now hot and boiling. So this is my Ogbono. Let me show you what the consistency of my Ogbono is after I dissolved it in the microwave. So you see, it does not have lump. I dissolved all the lump. So this is a lot of Ogbono because I'm making a lot of soup. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to my soup like so. get as much as the ogbono out from the bowl as I can. So I know there are different methods of making ogbono soup, or pretty much different dishes have different methods of making it. So this is just one method of making ogbono that I like. It's not the only method, but that's one thing I like about recipe. You can make them different ways and have same results or similar results. I'm just gonna give that a quick stir. Then I'm gonna lower the heat a little bit. I don't want it to start burning right away. Yes, it will start burning if your heat is very high. Okay, I think I have enough quantity of ogbono. Let's see. So let that just cook for a couple of minutes to let the ogbono do its thing, to let it stretch. If your ogbono is not good, if you happen to have a bad ogbono for any reason, which happens sometimes, at this stage you would know, because you will not see all this bubble. Your ogbono will look like banga soup. It will not be stretchy. So, but I'm fortunate. I got this from Africa, and it's a good one, as you can see. It's bubbling. That's what you want to see in a good ogbono. Bubble, stretchy, the aroma. Yeah. So my goat meat, I will tell you, my goat meat, when I bought my goat meat, I didn't do much to it. I just seasoned it with some salt and seasoning cubes, and then a little bit of Scotch bonnet pepper. That's what I used to cook my goat meat. And I've also pre-cooked my cow skin. Momo. Yes. So let's see how this ogbono is doing. Oh, look at that. Look at that. This spoon is not letting me turn this ogbono. I'll get another spoon. So our ogbono soup has been cooking for about 10 minutes. Yes, I like to leave my ogbono to cook for that long. The longer it cooks, the better. Look at that ogbono. This is a very good one. Look at the viscosity of this ogbono, the stretchiness of it. Oh my goodness. Yes. And this is the consistency I like for my ogbono. Not too thick, not too thin. You can adjust it to your preference, but that's how I like it. I don't like ogbono that's very, very thick. So right now I'm going to add my cow skin that I have pre-cooked. It's thick like this because this is the cow head. That part is usually thicker. At the same time, I will add my goat meat. This meat has been cooked, almost done, like almost well done. The aroma in this kitchen is so inviting. I wish you can smell it. Nice. So I did have this pepper, dried grinded chili peppers. Even though I've added Scotch bonnet pepper in my blend, I just had this extra just in case it's not enough. So I'm going to taste the soup to know if I need to add more pepper. This soup is so delicious. I can't even wait to eat. And I didn't even add everything yet. I'm gonna let this cook for like a couple of minutes. I like when I introduce an ingredient into my soup or any dish that I'm making, I like to give it a few minutes to cook and pretty much like marinate into the soup, you know, like building flavors, you know, little by little, step by step. You get it right. Don't just like dump everything one time. I mean, some people cook like that, it still comes out good, but this is just how I like to do mine. Just add step by step, give it a few minutes, add the next one, yeah, like that. So my ogbono soup has been cooking. The meat that I added has been cooking for a few minutes. Now it's time to add my fish. I'm going to add, this is mackerel. Titus fish, that's what we call it back home. I grilled this myself in the oven. All you have to do is, mine was already cleaned at the store. Just clean it, season it with a little bit of salt, and put it in the oven. I use 400 degrees oven for about an hour, 15 minutes. So, depending on your oven, it might take longer or lesser time. So I just added that in there. Our soup is almost done. I added crayfish in the beginning, but I like to add a little bit more towards the end. It makes a difference, trust me. Ogbono soup and many Nigerian soup, if not all Nigerian soup, they like crayfish. So be generous with your crayfish. So I just added some more, trying to mix that in to the soup. I'm going to taste for seasoning. I did use some salt and seasoning cube when I cooked the meat. That's why I have not added any salt or seasoning now. And also put into consideration that the fish was also seasoned with salt before they were dried or grilled. That's why you want to wait till the last minute to know if you need more seasoning. So just mixing in. Look at this soup. Correct ogbono. This is the one that they sing for. You know that song now? Which kind soup mama cook? Ogbono soup. Yeah, this is that ogbono soup that mama used to cook. Let me go ahead and taste for seasoning, because the salt in the fish and the meat would have gotten into the soup by now. So let me know if I need more seasoning. Delicious. I'm just going to need a little bit of salt and maybe 1 or 2 cubes of seasoning cube. That's because the way it is right now is fine, almost fine. But because I'm going to add some okra and some vegetables, that's going to take away from the seasoning. So that's the reason why I'm adding a little bit more. If not, once I add those ingredients, because they don't have any seasoning in them, then the soup is going to become almost bland, and I don't want that. So guys, this ogbono soup is pretty much done. It's delicious. I have adjusted the seasoning, and what I'm going to do next, you can see the pot is full. Remember I said I'm going to add okra and vegetable? Yeah, I purposely made it this full because I want to take out some ogbono before I add the vegetable and the okra, because I want to have two versions of this ogbono soup, one without the vegetable and okra, and one that's going to be plain ogbono like you're seeing me do now. That's actually my favorite ogbono, the one with no vegetable and okra in it. Not that I don't like the one with all the vegetable, but this is my personal favorite. So pretty much every time I make ogbono soup, I do this. I take some out before I add any vegetable that I'm going to add. It's just something that I do. I'm used to doing that. So it's like having two soup, making two soup one time, you know. There we go. This is not all just for me. For anybody else who prefers plain ogbono, they will eat from this one too. So, because the soup is done, once I add the okra and the vegetable, you know that don't take time to cook, unless you're trying to overcook your vegetable. So I take this soup out at this stage, set that aside. Oh, it's very hot. And then I'm gonna turn the heat down, because again this soup is done. Just waiting for the fish to be sweet. Why not? So guys, to the remaining of my ogbono soup, I'm going to add this okra. I forgot to show this okra when I was showing my ingredients earlier. So I have this okra that I just used my food processor to chop up. I don't have time to chop the okra manually with my hand, but if you have time to do that, you can do that. Or if you don't have a food processor, you can cut up this okra to the size and shape that you desire. So I just added the okra to the soup. We don't have to cook this for too long. Okra is a vegetable. If you cook it for too long, it's going to be too soft or mushy. So just stirring it, make sure it's all mixed in good, like that. That's okra is in. So I've mixed in the okra really good. Now I'm going to add my vegetable almost immediately, because I don't want the okra to overcook. This vegetable I'm using today is collard green. I removed the stem when I was, prepping it. I removed the stem. I don't like the stems of collard green in my soup. It's too thick. So I removed that. I washed the vegetable. I sliced it, and then I blanched it. So how to blanch the vegetable is you boil water, hot water, pour it on the vegetable, stir, and almost immediately you dump the hot water out, pour the hot water out, and pour a very cold water, like ice cold water, very cold. It can be tap cold water, but the water has to be cold because you're trying to stop the cooking process. You don't want to cook the vegetable, so the cold water will stop the cooking process. Usually I do the cold water like twice. The first time I pour the cold water, I pour that out. If you touch the water, you will see that it's a little warm, and then I pour another cold water. so until I'm sure the vegetable is done cooking. I do this with some vegetables. Collard green is one I definitely would blanch if I'm using it for soup, because collard green has this distinct flavor that it adds to the soup that I don't like. So anytime I use collard green in my soup, I blanch it to get rid of that taste. So here you have it, guys. This soup is done. I'm going to turn the heat off because I'm not trying to overcook my vegetable and okra. Our soup is pretty much done. I'll take it out of the heat to stop it from cooking. It's also going to continue to cook because it's hot. So that's why once you add the okra and the vegetable, you want to take it out from the heat almost like immediately, like a minute or so. So that's our soup. Delicious, delicious. So guys, this is the Ogbono soup. I'm serving it with pounded yam today. You can serve it with any swallow of your choice, gari, semovita, you know, whatever you like, old fufu. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please try my recipe and let me know your honest opinion about it in the comment section, and subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share my videos. There's love in sharing. And also I do shout outs on my channel. So if somebody you know is celebrating a birthday, anniversary, or you know, any special day in their life, let me know in my comment section and I'll give them a shout out in my next video. I can only shout out a few in every video, but I'll get to all the shout out requests that I get. Thank you so much. See you on my next one. Until then, stay blessed.